Live from Africa and to the rest of the world, this is CII Radio. Independent, authentic, and dedicated to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to the afternoon beat. It has gone 3 minutes past 3 p.m. this afternoon. Now we move on to a very interesting part of the program in which we chat with Sister Razia Rangrage. So we're looking at, in the topic today, being the stress and the anxiety around online learning and the entire online exam situation. So Sister Razia is an energy psychology coach, whereby she helps you understand the psychology behind your energy. So with an integrated approach of various energy healing modalities, she helps you let go of what you no longer serves the body and assists you in your journey of self-awareness, personal growth and transformation, which leads you to a more empowered way of living. So something absolutely interesting and exciting, and we're honored to have her join us here today on the afternoon beat with myself, Sumaya Riaz Jamal, as well as Sister Aisha Ismail. But Sister Razia, Assalamu alaikum, and shukran so much for joining us.
Wa alaikum salam, jazakallah khair for having me on your show.
Awesome. So getting straight into it, this entire online learning and even now with online exams is an absolutely new idea to everyone. So what would you say is the first step for children or for students to stay calm?
Okay, so I would say let's reframe it. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the why? Why is this happening to me? I don't have enough time. I'm going to fail. Why did this pandemic have to happen now, etc.? Remember, where focus goes, energy flows. So instead, let's shift it. Let's reframe it. Ask yourself, what is the solution? What do I need to do in order to get through this? And now you are shifting the focus from very low vibration to high vibration questions, and it places you energetically and physically in a more empowered position. Now the brain will start to look for those answers. The reframing will help that.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. So, going next is that how can students get the best out of the online experience in terms of what preparations can they do to ensure that they're definitely getting maximum out of this? Because I think what tends to happen is that there can be a lot of distractions around. Their phones are near them, iPads, tablets, or even a TV nearby, and these little things can actually distract them.
Definitely. So I think it's important to have a study station, a comfortable chair, you have your laptop, good internet connection, a neat desk, clear out everything that will distract you, and also clean out what you may not need, so the excess books and things like that. Remember, our environment reflects our internal state. So a clear desk reflects a clear mind. Then write down your online class times and stick it on your desk. If you have a roommate or a sibling that you're sharing the room with, advise them in advance that you need some privacy or quiet time for your lessons. Decide in advance if you would be writing down notes or using digital notes. Try not to hit the pause button or the exit button during the lesson, because this takes you out of the zone and interrupts your learning momentum. Also, after the session, try to do a quick summary of the lesson, as this will help you to further integrate the learning, and it may also help you to understand it from a different perspective. So I would say those things could help.
Absolutely. I think that definitely does make sense. Like you said, to ensure that you are engaging and you are in that moment, that definitely does make a lot of sense. But many institutions have now taken to doing online exams. So with regards to, be it kids that are in university more so, what advice can you share with these students that are writing exams online? Because again, like we said, it's an entire new experience. People are confused, they're scared, anxious, not knowing what to expect. So what advice can you share?
Absolutely. The anxiety will come up because remember, it's new, it's not familiar, and anything that is new kind of, as human beings, it will throw us off. But it's important to remember that it's just a different approach. Again, it's the way you are framing it. So just remember, it's a different approach. It's online now, so it's different. And so try to handle the exam like you normally would. Make sure that you still do your relevant and necessary preparations. Make sure you eat well and you have adequate rest before your paper. And just attempt it with the best positive attitude. Try to just focus on things that you can control instead of things that you can't. Like you know, that it's all different and it's all new. So your attitude is going to make a big difference here.
Yeah, but it's kind of new to everyone at the moment. So what are some simple ways to stay calm if, let's say, a student is feeling anxious, perhaps writing a paper soon, or, maybe just studying online? What are a few simple ways that they could stay calm?
So the best and most simple and effective way is to breathe. Are you breathing now, Sumaya? Now, when I say breathe, most of the time, you know, we're not breathing enough or it's shallow. If you have to just observe your breathing right now as I speak, most of the time it's just going to the lungs or maybe not even passing the throat because it's so shallow. So it's important to remember to breathe into the abdomen. And you can even do the triangular breathing. So you breathe in, you hold, you count to 6. Then you hold your breath, you count to 6. You breathe out, you count to 6. So that's called the triangular breathing. And when we take deep breaths, it helps the mind to scan all the frequencies in the body. And that starts also to make the adjustments within the body. Now, you can also learn to tap out your cortices. I have done a video on this where I teach anybody who's viewing it how to tap out the cortices. So basically, you can see that on my Instagram and the YouTube channel. It's very effective in balancing the left and the right hemisphere of the brain, and also getting the 3 brains in alignment, which is your head brain, heart brain, and your enteric brain. Another tip, again, is shift your focus. Instead of focusing on the time left and stressing, am I going to finish on time, and am I going to remember everything? Because that's actually robbing you of your energy. That's energy consumption, wasted energy. So shift your focus to doing the best that you can with the knowledge that you have, and just let it flow.
Absolutely. And I think, although it's new to everyone, the novelty is there. But I think everyone will need a few effective tips to keep on that momentum with studying online, because it looks like it's going to be here to stay for a good while. So what tips and quick and effective tips can you suggest?
Okay, so very importantly, a study timetable needs to be put in place. Use time blocks. Be realistic about the work content and the time effort that you would need to put in, and slot in sufficient time for revision and work on past year papers. I did see, Sumaya, that you had a live on past year papers and prepping the matriculants, which was lovely. Past year papers work beautifully. Also, make sure you get adequate rest. And remember to keep your salah times as well. Connection to your Rabb is priority. And if you are going to have, you're going to have to be very disciplined and sacrifice the temporary pleasures that you may be so tempted to indulge in, like social media, chatting to friends, watching YouTube, TV, etc. Because that is only going to sabotage your success. So remember to focus on the goal. Once you get through your exam, there's going to be plenty of time for everything else. I'm also a great advocate of vision boards and starting from the end. So my favorite personal analogy is Google Maps. You can't jump into the car and say drive. You have to punch in a destination. That helps to guide your focus and brings so much more clarity. So I encourage students, and I did this personally when I was studying as well, to write down your subjects and the marks that you're aiming for. Write them down, stick it on your desk, and then visualize receiving your report card with these marks on it. And how would it feel? You have to feel the emotion. Emotion is energy in motion, and that will help to guide you also. So instead of focusing, I don't understand this and I'm going to fail, it's helping you now to set higher targets and also helping you maybe to achieve a little bit more.
Absolutely, I really like that idea. With regards to, your vision board and having that up, and visualizing your result, I think that definitely is going to make a world of a difference. And I personally am going to try that, inshallah. But, like we said, with regards to this online experience, apart from it being something, very unique to students and them trying to figure out what's going on, I think parents are really feeling it too. And parents usually, are worried about their children with regards to exam time and even studying on a normal, basis. And now that's aggravated because it's online and the stresses that are involved in that. So how can parents firstly deal with their anxiety or their worry around this situation?
Yes, parents, please remember that if you are stressed and you are worried and anxious, that's the energy that you will be transmitting into your home environment. And think about it, if somebody enters the room, and they are all bubbly and excited and happy, naturally we're all going to feel that same energy and we're going to feel nice, light, happy. And if somebody enters the room where they're really angry, you can really sense that energy and, things become tense. So be conscious of how you're feeling, because as I said, that's the energy you're going to be transmitting into your home environment, and it will be mirrored by your child, your children. So it's not going to be serving anybody. It will only create more stress and uneasiness. If you are feeling the stress, then you have to do something proactive to release that. So if you are feeling the anxiety and things like that, go and investigate what exactly are you anxious about. What exactly is worrying you? Because sometimes our issues and our emotions, we take it out of the children.
And, I think it's important also for parents to be hands-on. But how can parents ensure that they are giving their children the best support during this time of online learning?
Beautiful question, Samia, because as a mom, I'm constantly asking myself this question all the time. Now, it's very important that we pay attention to the words that we use on our children. So, because remember, the words that you use and the things that you constantly say, it becomes part of their programming, it forms part of their neural pathways, and they kind of get an identity. So instead of saying things like, if you don't study, you will fail, now replace that. Use a positive word. Say, if you don't study, you won't pass. So the brain responds with the word fail or pass. So be very conscious of the words that you're using, okay? Also, if your child has managed to achieve something good, or
absolutely, and I totally agree there, because also with parents calling their children names, etc., that's just not wanted, because I've seen it and I've noticed that once you try to pick up a child's mood, it changes their whole perception of that duration of that study time as such. Now, Razia, do we have any final comments from you to the parents listening, to the children listening? We are still in lockdown level 3, so any uplifting comments as such before you leave us?
Just remember that this pandemic is beyond us and we cannot change it. We cannot change we can only change what is in our control. So change the way you are viewing things. Everything happens solely by the permission of Allah. And if this is happening, we have to turn back, we have to reflect, we have to ponder, we have to see how can we change. And it is very testing times, but remember, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا, Allah says, with every difficulty there is equal amount of ease. So focus on that ease, be grateful, and try to just tap into gratitude if you can, and advise everybody to keep a gratitude journal by the bedside, and in the morning just wake up and write 5 things that you're grateful for. And Allah keep us all safe during this pandemic and under His mercy and protection. Ameen.
Ameen. Ameen. We really appreciate you joining us here this afternoon and sharing some much-needed tips to parents, students, and everyone listening in that are going through this entire online learning experience. So we do thank you once again for your time, and we hope to get you back, inshallah, on the afternoon beat sometime soon.
I mean, that will be great. You take care and enjoy your afternoon, Sumaya.
Assalamu alaikum. That was Sister Razia Rangrage of Balancing, and she's based in Durban. You can find her on Instagram as well. But Aisha, I think some great tips coming in there with regards to students and this entire experience that we're having, because like you had also mentioned that it's something that's going to be staying for a very long time. So I think it's time we sort of get used to this idea and get ourselves comfortable with it, students and parents alike.